So you want to be in Charlottesville, you want to be in the thick of it all, and you just accepted a position with the University of Virginia. Well, you're not going to want to miss today, because what we're going to see is actually came from a viewer request. And that is, we are going to do the tour and see and learn all about Jefferson Park Avenue neighborhood. Come on, let's go. So Jefferson Park Avenue, what we call JPA, is actually a neighborhood in the city of Charlottesville. And it's really known for its close, like next door neighbor, butts up against most of the University of Virginia. But it's also a really great combination of residential and commercial. Right now, I'm down here, and as you can see, laundromat, there's food, there's a cleaners, and then there's the University of Virginia part of the buildings. Right down there you're going to find Scott Stadium and the sports, and then here you got a bunch of people who planted wrong and planted bamboo. So JPA actually runs from Main Street right off of JPA all the way extending southwest down near the corner and some other areas. I'll go into that in a minute. The neighborhood actually follows more than just JPA or just Jefferson Park Avenue, the physical street. It actually incorporates several streets that buffer up against it, and it goes almost other large neighborhoods such as Cville and Fry Springs. And then, of course, the University of Virginia. It has a distinct cultural identity shaped by the university's influence and the diverse population that includes students, long-term residents, professors, and professionals in general that have come here. So again, quite the diversity. It really does contribute to the area's dynamic culture. Okay, don't go anywhere, because you do not want to miss a secret I'm about to show you that is actually located right down in this neighborhood. So don't go anywhere. So Jefferson Park Avenue actually is a well-defined neighborhood, but it does have a distinct layout that's characterized by a mix of residential streets, commercial areas, and green space. So another really cool aspect about JPA is variety of architectural styles, ranging from historic homes to more modern apartments. The neighborhoods have a blend of older, charming homes and, quite honestly, newer developments. The neighborhood is actually defined primarily by its geographical boundaries, the specific features that distinguish it from the surrounding areas. All right, so it's not necessarily a gate, it's by far not gated, it's by far not cookie cutter. It is truly, as you can see, just this swath that follows along JPA but goes off on the side streets and is also butted up against the University of Virginia and then some other neighborhoods. So, northern boundary, look at this. The northern boundary typically starts at the intersection of JPA and Main Street. This area is close to the University of Virginia's hospital and the beginning of the UPA commercial corridor. The eastern boundary is somewhat fluid. But it considered to include the areas adjacent to the university grounds, and it can expand anywhere from JPA to where it meets West Main Street, incorporating the beginning of the commercial district known as the Corner, which, remember, down across from the main area of the University of Virginia, the main service area, if you want to call that, amenity provider for students and faculty to go get amenities and books and food and of the whole variety. The southern boundary stretches to the vicinity of Fontaine Avenue, where Jefferson Park Avenue intersects with the major roads. This area butts right up to Scott Stadium and the UVA athletic programs. So the southern boundary actually stretches to the vicinity of where we are right now, which is actually in the area of Fontaine Avenue. This is where Jefferson Park Avenue intersects with this major road of Fontaine. Now, this road is also very close to Scott Stadium and the University of Virginia Athletics Complex. The western boundary typically includes the area extending from Fry Springs all the way to Fifeville neighborhoods, often considered to be where JPA starts to merge with the more residential areas and gets away from the University of Virginia influences. The median real estate price for the Jefferson Park Avenue neighborhood is over $628,000. You have to remember, many of these houses are either going to be totally redone and professor or professional ready, somebody who wants close, almost on-campus proximity, or they're going to be selling to investors who are going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 residences in a single family home. Because again, the zoning does allow that here. And let's face it, the university is always looking for housing. So it is not unusual. Now again, it's not usual, but it's not unusual because this is one of the older historic areas of Charlottesville. Some of the architectural styles that you are going to see are going to be everything from colonial revival to Georgian revival, Victorian, craftsman, all the way into the 20th century styles of ranchers, mid-century moderns, and even into modern apartments, condominiums, and mixed-use development. So isn't that cool? This is why you don't want to go anywhere, and also why you need to give me a call, because you may never know about these little secretive areas, because again, they're just tucked off to the side, yet in the shadows of the University of Virginia. Give me a call, shoot me a text, drop me an email, and let's see about if living in Charlottesville is right for you. Come on, let's keep going. So let's talk about the lifestyles and amenities, and what does that mean as far as you living in the neighborhood? Well, first, obviously, the University of Virginia is going to be your major, biggest influencer, but also your biggest provider of amenities per se. Now, because you live in JPA, there's not like a welcome sign, welcome to Jefferson Park Avenue neighborhood. It is so spread out and such a throughway. Many of the streets you would never know it's part of the JPA neighborhood. So as far as the university, JPA is adjacent to it, and residents have easy access to facilities, including libraries, sports facilities, and cultural events. Now, remember, some amenities are only accessible to students and staff. So just because I live here off JPA does not give me the right to go parade my happy butt into some UVA facility and be like, well, I live in JPA. That's not the case. But if you're attached to the university, which many of these people are, then that is a great amenity and one of the primary reasons people love to live here. Another great one is going to be the access to cultural events. The university does really host many, many cultural events, and many of those are open to the public. Some do have a fee, some don't, but still having that easy access to those kind of cultural events is another really nice amenity to have access to. Another thing with the close proximity to the University of Virginia, many of the buildings are going to actually cater to students and faculty. That is both residential and commercial. So because they cater to the university staff, the university's presence is heavily influenced in this neighborhood and character and the economy of this neighborhood. So another part about the amenities and lifestyle here are going to be public amenities such as parks, recreational facilities, and green spaces that are part of what defines JPA. For example, the lovely Forest Hills Park is a notable green space nearby with proximity to Scott Stadium and adds to the neighborhood's identity. Forest Hills has picnic space. It has a fun splash park that's open during the summer, during dictated hours. It's got an area for playing basketball. It's got facilities for the bathrooms, but it's just centered in the center of a very sweet residential area. And that is at the edge of this JPA neighborhood. As for being an established, raised with the city neighborhood, another really cool feature is going to be for the lifestyle and amenities is going to be talking about dining and shopping. The neighborhood has several restaurants, depending which neighborhood, where in the section of the neighborhood you're going to be. You have coffee shops, small retail establishments. It's also a really short distance, like I said, to the corner, because the neighborhood butts up to the corner, which is going to be the commercial district for UVA. It serves both local and student population. Here's your insider tip. Probably one of the top two for fried chicken in Charlottesville. So I would say the biggest amenity that JPA offers for residents, no matter if you're a student or if you are a long-time resident, or if you're relocating to the area and you're going to be connected with the University of Virginia, is obviously the close proximity and the connected public transportation. Both the University of Virginia Transit and City of Charlottesville Transit have multiple stops on every street in every section of the JPA neighborhood. So you have access to that public transportation. It's also well lined. This is one of the few areas that is well lined with a lot of bike paths. So whether you're doing an e-bike or whether you're just doing a regular traditional and you like bicycling, whatever it is very connected here and marked safely. So that's another huge advantage. And finally, as you've seen, I've been walking around. It is fabulously pedestrian friendly. So that all combined, it is just going to connect you with location and enhances the connection with the different areas of Charlottesville, really defining that urban characteristic. Really, this is going to be about the height of urban Charlottesville. Because remember, we're not a big town. With the University of Virginia out of session, there's like 45 to 47,000 people in the city of Charlottesville. The university comes in session, it jumps, and especially in this neighborhood. But as you can see, where we've been walking around, it's been beautiful, quiet, birds singing, great green space. So there are a lot of amenities and lifestyle. I mean, it goes back to that lifestyle of quality of life. So if you know that you're going to be working at the university and you know that you enjoy biking or walking, it may actually be a great call for us to consider this area. Just remember, the houses here come up more infrequently, and when they do come up, they are higher priced. So there you have it. Due to a viewer request who wanted to see the Jefferson Park neighborhood, we just finished touring and seeing fabulousness of JPA. Now, its close proximity and connection with the university really does make it an ideal candidate for students, families, professionals. But is it right for you? I don't know. You need to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Let's see about if living in Charlottesville and JPA neighborhood is right for you. Not my decision. I just want to do what's best for you. If I can help you with buying, selling, or relocating, I would love to chat with you. I don't do rentals, as a reminder, because quite honestly, they're just set up so that they're very easily accessible to those who are renting. But if you're looking at living in Charlottesville or looking at relocating out of Charlottesville, I would love to talk with you. So until next time, would love your thumbs up and would love for you to click subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.